It's an East Coast double dip this NBA Sunday on ABC. Boston's FleetCenter. The fleeting playoff hopes for Michael Jordan and the Washington Wizards in a must-win. Michael and company try to keep it going against Antoine Walker, half of the hot shooting duo. Boston counts on to win games. Game 2 will be here in the land of cheesesteaks and high cholesterol. High star power from Philly. Allen Iverson banged up, but he and the Sixers will still have their sights set on first place in the Atlantic against Chris Webber and the Kings, trying to close an Eastern trip in grand style. 2 for you today on ABC.
You're too old, Michael. Your team is too young. Don't listen to them, because they're still the Celtics. And you're be Mr. Iverson, Mr. Webber. You may be tearing up the Atlantic Division, AI, and UC Webb, content to own the Pacific. Who will find their focus and make their presence felt into the playoffs? It's as much of
Odds are stacked against Jerry and the Wizards. He needs a big scoring game. Washington's in a must-win week and a half to keep slim playoff hopes alive. One of the top guns in the league, Paul Pierce, 5th in the NBA in scoring, leading the Celtics. Meantime, we are 310 miles south on I-95. Come on inside the First Union Center in Philadelphia, where Game 2 of our doubleheader will have the Sixers in Sacramento later on. Good Sunday. Welcome to the GMC Shoot-Around doubleheader day. 11 days left in the season. Mike Tirico, Bill Walton, and Tom Tolbert.
Michael Jordan looked pretty stressed out there. He loves playing in Boston. But I can only hope that the Philadelphia 76ers have enough healthy bodies today as we have right here behind us.
Always got to incorporate the
You want to add to that?
Always, no, just observation.
Looking forward to the next 5.5 hours with both of you. As has been the case the last couple of weeks, the men and women of ABC News are standing by in New York, Iraq, and around the world to keep us up to date as events warrant with the war in Iraq. If anything happens, we'll let you know and have an update at halftime. Meantime, our business does start in Boston. Celtics have lost both games to Washington this year, and they play the Wizards today and again on Wednesday. The story in the East looks like this. Boston's in the 6th spot. They can move up 1 or down 1, but the real concern here, Washington. Things dire for the Wizards. They've lost 4 games in 7 days. They've gone from holding the 8th and final spot a week ago to...
Mike, you're absolutely right, but never, ever count out Michael Jordan. It's never over till it's over with number 23. Now, as far as the playoff picture is concerned with the entire team, David Aldridge caught up with Washington coach Doug Collins.
Brent, thanks very much. Doug, you start today 2.5 behind Milwaukee. They lost last night. Your team is on a bit of a downhill slide right now. What do you tell your guys to try to get them out of this thing and try to get back in the race?
Just got to play well. That's all. You know, we played some decent basketball, but we've had a couple of real tough losses in this stretch. I think the loss at Denver, the loss at Atlanta the other night. I mean, you get those 2 games, and you're looking at a whole different picture. So as long as we win it, we got to keep fighting and scratching and just find a way to win a game.
Do you lean on the guys who have been here before in these situations, whether it's Michael or Stack or some of the guys that have been in playoff situations before, to try and pull you through this?
Well, I think anytime you're in a crunch, you always hope your veterans will help you. You know, your young players have not been through this, as you said before, so you hope that the guys who have this experience can get you through it. And I think that, you know, we're the kind of team where if you win 1 game, you know, you get such a good feeling that usually it carries over. So I'm hoping maybe a good day today will carry that into Cleveland for Tuesday.
Doug, thanks very much. Good luck to you today. Back to you, Brent.
All right, David, thank you very much. Well, Sean, there's no doubt that Doug has to rely on the 1-2 punch here.
Yeah, when you talk about the Washington Wizards, you have to talk about Michael Jordan. However, he's not even the #1 scorer on this team. That distinction falls to Jerry Stackhouse. And you see these numbers here. For the Wizards to make the playoffs, really, these numbers are going to have to improve for both players across the board.
So that's the pressure facing them. Meanwhile, what about the Boston Celtics? They had the home court advantage in their opening playoff series a year ago, but not this time around.
Not this time around. This is a double superstar team. If these two guys can continue their scoring output and distribute the basketball, they have enough support players around them to really make a big playoff push.
All right, so we are at a sold-out FleetCenter. There's a buzz in the air. Michael Jordan has averaged better than 34 points a game in this city. Let's go back to Mike.
All right, Brent, likely Michael's last visit to Boston, but it's next door to the old Boston Garden. It's no longer there, but in that building 17 years ago, Michael Jordan put on one of the greatest single-game scoring performances in NBA playoff history.
He uses quickness, and it works.
I don't think you can say it or explain it any other way. Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan, and he's exactly what's happening right now.
Probably the only player in the league I can think of that just has no weaknesses.
Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan scored 63 on the Celtics, and that's something I didn't think anybody could possibly do.
Pretty good, by the way. The 63 eclipsed the record set in that building 24 years before by Elgin Baylor. Michael Jordan, 5 of the top 9 scoring performances in NBA playoff history. None better than in Boston in April of 1986. And one of the problems that day, Bill, was clearly the second unit for the Celtics. Their interior defense very poor.
And Larry Bird looked right at me and said, how many times do I have to win this game that you guys keep losing? I fouled out of that game in some of the worst calls in the history of Western civilization. But this was an era that predated the hype that permeates today's game. We didn't know who Michael Jordan was at that time, or certainly how good he would become. In game 1 of that series, Michael Jordan goes for 49. We said he'll never do that again. 63 the next game. Finally, after that game, we said in the locker room, you know what, if we just double team Michael Jordan every single time, let's see if Granville Waiters, Brad Sellers, and Dave Corzine could beat him. Michael had 19 in the third game, and we swept him.
Yeah. And went on to bigger and banner things that year with the Celtics. But Tom, the reality is, as much as we relive Jordan in Boston, Jordan in the playoff, this ain't going to happen this year.
No, it ain't. And I tell you, did anybody notice Doug Collins? People ask me, do you ever want to coach? Look at his face. No. It looks like he needs to be put in an oxygen tent for about 2 months after the season's over. He looks beat. It's like this is taking it out of him. And you know what's taking it out of Michael Jordan? That's the one thing that Michael could always get out of the Chicago Bulls. He would will the rest of the team to play up to his level. This year, it's not happening for whatever reason. And I think one of the reasons is the young guys know he's out the door. And they're saying, you know what? Whatever. Let's get on with summer vacation.
But the sad thing for Doug and Michael is that their emotional commitment has not been matched by the rest of the team.
Yep. And they've pointed that out. We're going to talk about the Boston Celtics a little bit later on in the show. More ahead on the GMC shoot-around, including a preview of Game 2 here in Philadelphia. We'll visit with Chris Webber as Sacramento tries to cap a Great Eastern trip. And the guys are going to talk about Iverson, 4 of 23 on Friday night. How far can he take Philly? And just another typical week in Blazerland. Can turmoil, fights, and suspension actually help this team on the floor? Well, we are going to see 2 of the top 10 scorers in the league in Game 2 of our doubleheader. These fans are...
If he's limping, he drags his whole team along with him, and you got to love him when he gets into the open court. He uses his quickness, his speed. Once you get out there in open space, he's literally unstoppable, and then his toughness is just incredible. I truly believe his toughness rates his whole team up to a different level game in and game out.
You're confusing toughness with a major injury. You're talking about draining blood from the guy's knee. That
well,
is
drain
very
blood from
serious.
your head, and you show up every Sunday.
Allen Iverson has never played better, including his
with Nash. having 28 points and an assist there, one of his 11. Dirk Nowitzki had 29. The Mavs one up in the West. Tom, Phoenix is playing good basketball, trying to get that 8th spot.
Well, it'd be interesting if they do get into the playoffs. I'm curious to see how Amari Stoudemire, the young player out of high school, is going to fare in the playoffs. And Marion's doing a great job for them the last 3, leading the team in scoring.
They beat the Timberwolves, and now there you see Phoenix in the 8th spot ahead of Houston. Move up to the top where Sacramento's kind of locked into 2 because San Antonio's just a game back of Dallas for the division and the overall. I want to call your attention to Portland in the 4-5 spot. A nice normal week here in Portland. They play Minnesota tonight, by the way. Rookie Quintel Woods was cited for marijuana possession. Rasheed Wallace placed on probation from a similar charge back in November. And a practice scuffle Wednesday that led to Zach Randolph sucker punching Ruben Patterson. Randolph suspended 2 games, fined $100,000. And then Scottie Pippen yesterday telling a Portland newspaper this quote about Bob Whitsitt, president GM of the Blazers. This is his boss he's talking about. Whitsitt has no attentiveness to this team. He doesn't know what he brought in, how it's responding, what the practice habits are like. Nothing. One of several comments Scottie made, very negative about what's going on in Portland. We saw Maurice Cheeks on our NBA Friday broadcast on ESPN. Maurice Cheeks is a guy who's really struggling with how to keep it all together.
Well, you could tell it really affected him and all the other stuff as well, but the fight most notably. I think he feels like he doesn't know how to deal with the guys off the court, how to keep this team together and focused on what they're doing on the court. The key is what they do after this year. I mean, do you go ahead and get rid of some key parts or not? It's not like this thing's just happened. It's 10 years, okay? It happens every single year. If it was isolated to just this year, I think maybe you could say we could recover. But for 10, I mean, certainly they got to start getting rid of some of these guys.
Scottie does not seem to be negotiating a contract extension there in Portland. And with these problems which have been long-term here, they're not going to be a short-term fix here. You've got players who have been cast off from other squads, and now you've got too many of the key players for the Blazers who are selfish and who are emotionally immature. The biggest challenge they have is to, over time, change those players so that the fans can still feel like they're competing for the talent and the championship while they get a new mix of guys.
We're in Portland next week to see the Blazers meet the LA Lakers. They should throw out the red carpet for us now at the Rose Garden, right? Here is Stackhouse in Washington getting set to take on Boston. Ahmad Rashad will talk about the Celtics as we continue on the GMC Shoot-Around on ABC. The tip with Washington's some Celtic thoughts now from Ahmad Rashad.
In the past, springtime in Boston has been filled with the wonderful sound of birds and the beautiful smell of flowers and Red Auerbach stale Victory cigars. There was a reverse throw down.
There's Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. That is not a real official. And look, Del Harris, he thought it was a real guy. That was an April Fool's joke on Del Harris.
He hit it! Ain't no out to the junkyard door. Barry's done it again. It's the shaka. That's the pass of the year. Oh, down, Sean.
In the name of Mark Goodman and J.J. Jackson, old MTV VJs, the originals, live world premiere of the Christina Aguilera videos coming up at halftime of Game 1.
Oh, my God.
Michael Jordan. What could be his last game on Broadcast Network TV.
Oh, my
Celtics
God.
minutes away on ABC.
Michael Jordan's last game ever in a city that he dearly loves playing in. As far as his team is concerned, the Wizards find themselves in a desperate situation, but they do have a glimmer of hope. Milwaukee lost last night in overtime to the Chicago Bulls, so there's only one loss separating the Wizards from Milwaukee. The Wizards have games in hand, but they cannot afford to lose. Welcome, everybody. With Sean Elliott, I'm Brent Musburger. Nice to have you along with us in Boston this afternoon. Let's talk about Michael Jordan in Boston. He loves playing here.
Well, he loves to play here, and last time we had Michael on ABC, he gave us 39 in New York, so you hope that his numbers here in Boston, his career numbers, hold up today. If they do, we're in for a great show.
And of course, the epitome of Michael Jordan at the peak of his career Back in the 80s, the 63-point game. Now, as far as the Celtics are concerned, pretty much a two-man team. Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce. You were here Friday night. Sacramento goes out big. Pierce takes over late for the Celtics.
Yeah, and it all started on the offensive end. They scored a couple buckets. Their defense intensified, and Paul Pierce had a brilliant fourth quarter. He took over the ball game. He was taking people off the dribble, knocking down jumpers, getting to the line for three-point plays. He had incredible body control, showed strength and poise. He really lifted this building. He propped up his teammates. He got the Celtics single-handedly back into this ball game.
When you talk about great basketball cities, Boston is right at the top, along with Philadelphia and New York and Los Angeles. They appreciate Michael Jordan. There's a lot of folks wearing number 23 in the sold-out crowd today.
In all likelihood, this is Michael Jordan's last trip to Boston. And it was across the street in what was the old Boston Garden in 1986 that Jordan left his calling card on the rest of the NBA when he scored 63 points in Game 2 of a first-round series against the Celtics. He'd like nothing better than to get into a first-round series this season. But he has a troubled Wizards team coming into Boston, 2.5 games behind Milwaukee, but with players not happy about their roles, teammates not sure about the direction of this franchise, and everybody looking at the specter of Jordan overhanging this franchise. They hope that he has one more great possibility in him today. We'll be back with the tip-off after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
I wasn't old enough. To everyone who said I wasn't good enough. To everyone out there who ever booed me. I've got one thing to say. Oh yeah, right here. Thanks. What's my thirst? Proving them wrong. What's yours?
Washington at Boston, and here are your Bud Light starting lineups. Now, these two teams have played each other twice this season, and Washington has won both times. And the Wizards have done an excellent job against Antoine Walker. He's averaging only 14.5 points a game. Paul Pierce averages 21 points a game. So Antoine Walker needs to pick up his offense a little bit for Coach Jim O'Brien here today. The Wizards in a desperate situation. We'll see if Stackhouse and Jordan can lead the way. At number 23, Michael Jordan. Hard to believe that the time has passed this quickly. Back in 1985, he was the Rookie of the Year playing for the Chicago Bulls. And here he is at the age of 40. Putting up records that are apt to stand forever as far as a 40-year-old scoring points is concerned in the NBA. But as David has pointed out, along with the rest of our gang in the pregame show, one man at the age of 40 cannot do it alone. The Wizards suffered perhaps their toughest blow of the season the other night in Atlanta when they thought they had the Hawks beaten, and then a miracle shot fell through and the Wizards came up a loser. So here is Michael Jordan coming out in a city where he once put up 63 points across the street in the old Boston Garden against the Celtics when he was still a member of the Chicago Bulls. And we'll see what he can do here today. Big embrace from Paul Pierce. Antoine Walker making the rounds with the Celtics. White will start at center. Over to Pierce, who tries to split the D for the driving layup.
Now, how do you start a game off by giving Paul Pierce a layup over Tyronn Lue? Got to be ready from the start, Brent.
Shot clock winds its way, Sean, inside of 10 here, and Lue left open. He could knock that shot down, and he does.
A good-looking shot. He came off that screen. He actually had the wrong foot planted when he wanted to turn and face up, but you had no defense whatsoever out there to challenge a shot.
So the three puts the Wizards up one. Laettner taking Walker here in the early going. Williams backing Jordan down, posts him up for the easy deuce.
Now you see Williams keeping that ball away from Michael, doing a great job not showing him the basketball. He can't take a swipe at it, and it's extremely difficult trying to block it. Derek Williams is a handful in the block.
The Celtics will try to deny Stackhouse looks as Michael hits his first shot of the afternoon.
When he hits that first little runner like that, and he has his tongue out, and he has that trot going back down the floor, shows he has a ton of confidence early on.
T outside off iron. Williams rebounding. Pump fake gets inside White.
Also up fake. Thought he'd put the ball on the floor and powered up toward the basket. Looked like he was trying to draw that foul there, but it was still effective.
Sean, of course, the big change in number 23's game when you're the age of 40, he cannot explode all the way to the iron like he used to. So he has to pull up and shoot that little runner that you just talked about frequently.
Yeah, and he had to pull out all his tricks. Little head fakes, little ball fakes.
White dueling. Bremer at the rebounding end, knocked the ball out of bounds. It'll go to the Celtics.
And of course, like you said, he's got to come with this little floater. Instead of getting all the way to the bucket, you see guys are able to stay with him and cut him off, not let him get 2 or 3 feet away from the bucket where he's able to explode and finish over the top of him.
Stackhouse, not noted for his D, is tracking Pierce right now, and Pierce rubs him off with a screen. And Walker, first of many threes, I'm sure, into Laettner's hands.
That was a nice pass by Paul Pierce, the way he penetrates and sets up his teammates.
Oh, Michael, smooth on that J. That was very graceful when he got over the baseline.
Yeah, he's rolling already. As soon as he catches that ball, he lets it go.
Lou with good hustle, but Bremer goes back after it. Now here comes Walker. Great no-look pass to Williams. Can't put it away. White off with the rebound.
He had that shot off the glass instead of bringing it to the front of the rim.
Williams hounding Michael, backs him down, posts him up, right side, gets inside him, and missed perhaps the easiest of the 3 shots he's had, actually.
Now that's a patented move by Michael. He gives you that little head and shoulder fake, then he turns around and gives you an up fake.
Pierce, so the Celtics miss another 3. They'll keep firing. That's what Coach O'Brien wants him to do. Green light for Pierce and Walker.
See Michael run the floor at 40 years old, can still get up and down the floor. As soon as he catches it, it's up with it. Nice rotation on his jumper. It's a guy who can score right there, Brent. Still 40 years old, putting up numbers like he is.
Laettner misses from the perimeter into Williams' hands. So the Celtics are certainly not bashful about taking that 3-point shot. At any time and from any spot. Pierce will come to the free throw line. And just to illustrate our point, the Celtics, you can see for the season, lead the NBA in both threes taken and threes made. And speaking of threes, I couldn't believe I was watching you and John Saunders the other night. Chris Webber makes the 3.
Oh, yeah, he can hit that shot.
Huh? After missing a couple of free throws just before that.
Well, he redeemed himself big time. And what I learned more importantly in that game is with this Celtics team, Paul Pierce, whenever he wants to get to the basket, when he's really demonstrative about it, there's no one that stops him. He either scores or he goes to the foul line.
Yeah, when he gets on a run, he's one of the better streak players in the NBA,
Boy,
if you will.
I tell you, 18 in that 4th quarter, and all 18 were big.
Tightening up on Stackhouse, trying not to give him good looks. Back outside comes Michael, missing again, and into Walker's hands.
Well, if he hits that, you know it's going to be a big afternoon for Michael.
Another good pass by Walker, and Petit finishes.
And that's what you love your big man to do. He's got to put it down with authority. Don't mess around with the ball around the bucket. If you're 7 feet tall, you have athletic ability. Go up and cram that ball.
Celtics build a 3. Stackhouse slides inside, wrap around, tough shot. Rebounds, an offensive rebound for White, and the foul goes against Boston.
See Jahidi White grab that rebound, one of the strongest men in the league. But this time he's caught flat-footed as he steps up to help defensively. Great pass by Antoine Walker, sucking that defense in, and that's what I'm talking about with those 2 superstars. They need to get everybody else involved.
Jordan's fouled by Williams. Williams knew he was beaten by Michael and took the foul on the chase. Now Patrick Ewing, prior to the game, had a big man drill. One of the assistant coaches for Doug Collins, and he was out with White, Kwame Brown, and this is a look at Ewing, who still keeps himself in pretty good shape. Haywood there, was one of the big men, and this went on for about 30 minutes. It was a little bit more intense than what you're watching right there. But here, Laettner sends it back to Lou, get it back, turn around, open look, knocks it down. It's kind of a delayed read by Laettner. He was open actually on the catch.
Well, there's a little miscommunication there by the Celtics. That's been their one problem on the defensive end. They're not communicating as well as they can.
Bad pass. Stackhouse has got it. Pierce has switched out on Lou now, and they got to find the mismatch. Laettner wants to go inside, and McCarty had checked in, and they're going to call Laettner for pushing off on him. You know, Wizards or Celtics trivia? Well, Prove Your Team's fans are the most knowledgeable in the NBA Fan Challenge, only on NBA.com. I got one for you. How many coaches has Michael Jordan played for in the NBA? That's right. 2 of them are here today. And see if you can think about how many coaches he's played for. There is his first coach. There's Kevin Locker working with ESPN Radio. That's Mark Jones, the play-by-play man, right alongside him. It was Locker who said he recognized the genius in Michael Jordan all along. Murph.
He was responsible for making them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe what he is as Pierce as the buzzer goes off, knocks it down, knowing that the shot clock was running out, and the Celtics lead it by 3.
Wow. Yeah, how demoralizing is that for you if you're the Wizards? You got him corralled, you're denying the ball to everyone else on the floor. He turns around, takes a half desperation shot, and buries it on him.
Stackhouse gets inside and couldn't put it away, but gets back the rebound, comes back and draws the foul. Stackhouse to the free throw line. So let's take a look at Pierce here. This was under pressure, shot clock running down, good read by Pierce of the time situation.
Yeah, I mean, the Wizards had everybody denied. There was nowhere Pierce could go with the basketball but up toward the rim.
Well, we're talking about Michael Jordan's coaches. The only man to coach him twice. He's over there on the sideline right now. That's right. Remember now, Doug Collins coached him in Chicago and then became the head coach of the Washington Wizards. So now we have shown you 2. And obviously, all of you know Phil Jackson is the 3rd. Now, you get bonus points if you can come up with the 4th. And I'm going to let Sean Elliott think about that one for a minute. There are 4.
I might have to think about that for more than a minute.
I would tell you, I would not have gotten it. I had forgotten. Here's back outside into Stackhouse's hands.
Wow, he hits that shot. He's about to get out of my seat and light a match.
Pierce overplaying Michael. Boy, in the old days, Michael would have just blown right by. Still gets pretty close, and he'll be shooting free throws, and Michael said, come on, Paul.
Oh, you love that body control, Brent. He still has the handle, the ability to get to the bucket.
So it's the Boston Celtics, Michael and the Wizards, and the Celtics lead it by 1. Bye-bye.
Tonight for the first time on Net.
Well, here's why it's so tough for the Washington Wizards to catch Milwaukee. 3 of the Bucks' remaining 4 games are at home, and Milwaukee's only road game is into Toronto. Yes, Washington does have 2 games at hand, but they close out at Philadelphia. So the schedule edge favors the Bucks big time, and that's why it was so painful for Michael and the Wizards to lose those games to Denver and Atlanta, games that they figured to win. And Michael right now is shooting for the tie, and by the month. Now remember when the season began and we were up in Toronto for the opener, he was coming off Doug Collins' bench. That didn't last very long, did it, Sean? He had to get into the starting lineup.
No, lasted about what, a week and a half?
We've got 7 lead changes here today.
I think actually it was like about a month, but everybody around the league knew that Michael coming off the bench was not going to last too long.
Here's Bremer, who played his way. into the Celtics starting lineup. Left-handed jump shot on the outside. Pretty interesting matchup against Lou. Lou played on one of Phil Jackson's championship teams out at Los Angeles against Philadelphia. I thought he turned in some great minutes against Michael Iverson, or I should say Allen Iverson in that series. Signed with Washington. Laettner short on the shot, and it says here that the Lakers have missed Little Lou. Walker spinning inside and draws the foul, and it's going to go against White. That's his second.
I love when Antoine is going to take the ball to the bucket instead of roaming out there shooting threes. Yeah, you add threes, and that's, you know, really the icing on top of the cake. But really the cake and the meat of your game has to be taking the ball to the bucket. With that kind of size and strength and his ball handling ability, whenever he forces the issue down low, he's going to score the ball.
Blunt is checking in, and Antoine Walker with 10 assists. He's one of the doctors of funk in the NBA, one of the great lines of the year. How come you shoot so many threes? Because there ain't no fours. I still love that line. McCarty's out on the floor with Bremer. Antoine, Blunt checked in. Pierce stays out there. And Kwame Brown, the Washington Wizards project, pulls down a rebound.
I still believe he has a lot of upside, Brent. He still is a second-year player, and that's what's forgotten here.
That was not on cue for you. Show the upside. That was a pretty bad shot.
Yeah.
McCarty knocks the three down.
I love Walter. You have to love Walter McCarty. I mean, the guy comes out every game. He does all the little things for this team.
Stackhouse draws the foul. Blunt jumped over and couldn't get set.
That's what Stackhouse does. He gets to the free throw line. Guy who's near the top or leads the league in free throws attempted almost every year.
For 42, Jerry Stackhouse will shoot 2.
A couple of free throws for Jerry Stackhouse, like Pierce. He works his way frequently to that free throw line. He's engaged in that big trade for Rip Hamilton. Hamilton has done extremely well over in Detroit. There's a team that is going to wind up with a very favorable seed in the Eastern Conference. You know, when you talk about MVPs, there is a player who doesn't score much, who we always overlook. But I got to tell you, Sean, Ben Wallace and his performance for the Pistons, just doing the dirty work, he's a pretty valuable performer.
Hey, Brent, I said that on one of our ESPN studio shows, and I was ridiculed for like a week.
That must have been Tolbert ridiculing it, you know? He always looks at those point totals. You know, he looked at Doug Collins' face today and said that that's why he wouldn't coach.
Exactly.
That was early in the morning. He hadn't had a cup of coffee. Lob pass in deep.
No, there's no question that Ben Wallace is an MVP candidate. Maybe he doesn't put up the numbers. He's not a glamorous player, but he does all the little things, and he absolutely controls the lane for the Pistons.
There's a bad pass right into Stackhouse's hands, and he'll go right to the rack on Pierce. And it will not stay down.
Too bad, because that was a nice penetration by Jerry Stackhouse.
McCarty again. Michael said, see if you can do it twice in a row. Now Michael, head man is Lou. He'll pull it back out.
You can tell when a team is not accustomed to running the basketball. You know, their fast breaks are disorganized. That time, Michael throws the ball up to Lou, thinking that he might take it. They didn't have numbers, and everybody's walking the ball up the floor.
Jordan to Kwame, and Kwame is eaten up low. McCarty and Antoine Walker again.
I see you don't have guys in this league that have that type of ability at the 4 spot where they can run the break in the open floor, yet they can go down low and punish people, put them in the torture chamber.
He did exactly that. He put him right inside that chamber. This is his 3rd assist already, Sean.
Brent, he is such an excellent ball handler for his size. You watch him in the open floor, he has great court vision, sees his man right away, puts the ball on the floor, sucks that defense in. That is a picture-perfect fast break. Here he is. He makes eye contact right away. He knows where everybody is on the floor. Beautiful bounce pass by your power forward to Walter McCarty, who finishes it the way a big man should.
No points, but he has set up 6 with his 3 assists. There's so many.
Yeah,
it's memories.
You gotta cross that off.
Yes, indeed. Michael Jordan. The memories. NBA calendar now, folks. NBA TV Tuesday, Mavs, Lakers, 10:30 Eastern. ESPN Wednesday, Timberwolves, Sonics. TNT Thursday, Sixers, Celtics. Starts at 7:30, then Kings, Lakers. ABC next Sunday, Lakers, Trailblazers, 3:30 Eastern time. The numbers. Wizards shooting only 29% and being badly beaten in the paint. The Celts, though, only lead by a deuce.
Well, the Celtics are getting their paint not from back to the basket plays, but running and getting layups.
Laettner's open.
Kwame Brown just mistimed that rebound.
Wide open McCarty. Now, either Laettner or Kwame Brown absolutely got lost that time and let McCarty go down there. Laettner, looking somewhat disgusted with himself, may have realized he should have gone down and picked him up.
Well, you got to get back on defense. You got to work inside out first.
There's goaltending and Blount, and scored for Kwame Brown.
You have that alley-oop play. Look at Walter McCarty right here underneath all alone, and you have your big men who are messing around up here at the top of the key. And your first obligation as a big man is to get back and protect the basket. Don't linger around the top of the key.
And there's a lot of Kentucky folks out on that floor right now as Blount steps out and knocks it down. I see that Delk is out there with McCarty and Walker. A lot of very unhappy Wildcat fans because they said they had to listen to Pierce chirp away at how the Kansas Jayhawks are going to Monday night. Kentucky's home. Jordan outside, up over McCarty, and Michael kicks it in.
Yeah, Michael shooting the ball over a guy who's nearly 7 feet tall. And at 6'6", you're giving away a ton of height. But Michael just has the ingenuity and the know-how to get that shot off.
Foul on Lou. So here is Michael Jordan, and have you thought about his fourth head coach yet?
No, I haven't.
He replaced Kevin Lockridge. Okay.
You see that jab stuff? You're not giving me time to think about it, Brent.
Stan Albeck. Okay.
Oh, there you go. I know Stan.
And we want to wish him our best because he started the season with Toronto. You and I were up there with him. Pierce knocks it down and took ill. And he's not with the team, we understand, right now. So in case he's watching Stan, we haven't forgotten. We want to wish you the best. And one of the 4 men who have coached Michael Jordan in his fabulous career, Doug Collins, is coach now. He's done it twice, once in Chicago and once in Washington. And here comes Simmons, who played at DePaul, and that's a 2. He's over the line.
I like the ball movement by the Wizards that time. I always like when 3 or 4 guys touch a basketball rather than 1 or 2 guys, one pass and the shot goes up.
There's McCarty again. They're leaving him alone. This one rims out, tap to Jordan.
Yeah, you can't afford to leave him outside on that sideline three-pointer. He's going to knock that down a majority of the time.
And Laettner eaten up on the drive. Wanted the foul, not going to get it. Here comes that high stride, and Antoine Walker got a mismatch. Got Lou on him. Lou holds the fort. Back outside, Delk's 3.
You know, that time, Brent, you can double team Antoine, but 3 guys go to him on the break, and that's where Washington's having trouble communicating on the defensive end.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned that, and just an observation. Washington's defense is what's betraying them. In down low, not to be from Michael, but he goes back and he's got it again.
Here's a mismatch on the perimeter.
Top side, Jordan. Now he's up over Antoine. Got a couple of words with him.
He didn't even say anything. He just looked at him.
If you wonder why he's playing at age 40, all you have to do is watch him compete against the Walkers and the Pierces. 10 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Another all-star, Paul Pierce, with 8 points, 3 of 6 from the field. He has a rebound, and the Celtics lead it by 3. But Antoine Walker's doing the dirty work. 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Jordan and Pierce are getting the points, and Walker's doing the little things right now. We're at the end of one. 26-23 Celtics. Michael Jordan against Antoine, Sean.
Yeah, you know, the whole building was rumbling when this matchup took place. Antoine's talking, he says he's got him. And right when Michael hits it, he just kind of breathes in his face like, you can't stop me. Little gamesmanship going on. All in good fun, Brent.
4 of 7, and Antoine takes a seat here as we start the second quarter. Jordan stays on the floor. Simmons is out there, tried to post up. Pierce read it into McCarty's hands. McCarty goes down, and there's a tripping foul. And on Simmons. That's the first team, obviously, here in the early going. Celtics out of bounds sideline, and they have McCarty and Delk, Williams, Blount, and Paul Pierce on the floor. McCarty loves that spot. Misses from it again into Simmons' hands.
He's had several opportunities from that corner, unable to knock him down. If he gets many more, though, Walter McCarty is an excellent three-point shooter.
Laettner looks for Kwame and a reach-in foul against the Celts. McCarty, and McCarty's not so sure about that call.
You know, the times I've seen Kwame Brown play this year, it's apparent to me that he's not really a guy who plays with his back to the basket. He likes to step out, shoot that free throw line jumper, that little 8 to 10 footer on the wing and the baseline.
I think he has to get tougher, Sean, if I had to make any observation about him.
I agree with you, but you have to remember, again, he's a second-year player.
Simmons takes it outside. I think what has disappointed Michael is that Kwame doesn't want it as badly as he does. I think that the one thing Michael will not forgive is effort and desire on the floor.
Right. Well, but at this age, you don't really get it, Brent, until you get older, later in your years, and you understand what the winning and all the hard work is about. You talk to every professional athlete, they work harder in their high 30s and into their 40s than they did when they were in their 20s. Everybody will tell you that, because they understand it, and it takes a lot more work. I'm sure Michael's worked as hard or harder than anybody else all year long.
And that's probably what's really disappointing him right now as he comes to the end of his fabulous career and may not make the playoffs. And Kwame just threw it up off the glass, had position that time.
Yeah, that wasn't a confident shot there. He's got to take that ball up against Blunt.
Williams missing, and again, it's Michael.
So Kwame Brown needs to take that ball up strong against Blunt instead of kind of tossing it up there, hoping that it doesn't get blocked.
McCarty bit, but Michael just didn't think he had position, and there's a bad pass from Simmons that time, and Pierce will bring it down for the Celts. Headman is Delk for the layup.
Yeah, right now the Wizards are having a terrible time getting back on the defensive end. They're getting run off the floor by a Celtics team that really is in an open court, high-flying team.
Laettner from the perimeter. It's Delk. Jordan with another defensive rebound. That's 5 rebounds for Michael.
Well, you have excellent ball movement again, Brent. You have several guys touching the basketball. Walter McCarty makes the extra pass to, again, an excellent shooter, Tony Delk, along the baseline, just unable to knock down the easy one.
Pierce got a hand on that, or Laettner would have had an easy lay-in. Well, no one drives Kwame any harder than Michael Jordan. Of course, he's the reason why Kwame was the #1 draft choice, although in fairness to Michael, an awful lot of people around the NBA, scouts and observers, thought that Kwame was a can't-miss prospect.
Well, he still might be a can't-miss prospect. It's just going to take him a while. You know, everybody's asking guys that are 19, 20 years old to step up and perform at a big-time level.
Blues on the money.
They need that third scorer in the lineup. You don't have Larry Hughes. You have a guy like Lou who can get the job done as well. He's a guy who is capable of putting up 20 points on you if he gets hot.
Stackhouse back on the floor. Inside low, Pierce was working the baseline. So Petit draws the foul. We'll take a break here with the Celtics leading the Wizards by a point.
next. How many versions of Air Jordans do you think have come out in his career since the 80s? He's been the biggest seller of shoes and of any man in history, folks. And how many different versions of Air Jordans do you think there have been on the market? Some of you probably even own each pair now. How many do you think, Sean? You want to guess?
Well, you have to have one for every season, so I'm saying about 20.
Pretty close. Pretty good guess, partner. That's the 18th version that he's got on there today. What are them babies retail for now? Around 200? You got to drop 2 bills for those?
Yeah, when they came out, they were like 25, 40 bucks, $50 way back in the day.
What do you think an original pair for a collector with an autograph?
Yeah, who knows? Huh? These speculative markets.
Stackhouse looking for his first field goal. Got it.
Wow, good looking shot. Paul Pierce was all over that shot. Great contest. Jerry Stackhouse, once he gets his jumper going, allows him to put the ball on the floor. That's when you see a guy going to the free throw line.
Michael had one. Oh, he had a deuce, and he let it get away. Let's check in with David Aldridge.
Guys, there's a lot of question about Michael Jordan's future, not as a player, but as an executive with the Wizards. He has 1 year left on his original 5-year contract to be executive vice president of basketball operations. Obviously, there's been a lot of speculation about whether he might go to Charlotte at some point with the new expansion team there. I think Michael will stay in Washington, provided he maintains the control that he had beforehand, before he came back as a player. He wants to have complete control of the entire operation, and if he's allowed to do that, I think Michael will probably stay in Washington with the Wizards.
All right, David, and Boston, incidentally, as Antoine Walker comes back, and this is interesting, they were only 1 of 6 from the field while Walker sat. Remember, he was the leading assist man for the Celtics before he left the game.
He was spoon feeding everybody.
There he is with another rebound, too. So he's the man of the match so far, Antoine Walker. Even though he's not putting up the points, he's doing the stuff that you got to have. Forced a pass. He was off of the Wizards. Picks it up in the backcourt, so it's legal. McCarty again from his spot. Second 3 from right there.
Yeah, he's not going to miss a lot of those, Brent. He missed 2 in a row in the first, but you know, he has such a nice shooting stroke, a nice touch for a big man. If he has plenty of time, he's going to knock those down.
Stackhouse now warming to the task.
That's why I like Stackhouse. When he's going to take over, doesn't have to pass. He's going to continue to penetrate that lane and jump right in, or float rather, into that little fadeaway jumper.
Here's Brimmer. And now it'll be Walker. And Petit with the offensive rebound for the Celtics.
Well, that's a good shot by Antoine. One he doesn't have to work so hard for.
Missed, and Brown took it away momentarily from Michael.
See that athletic ability by Brown? He just jumped right over Michael.
Jordan will take a break.
Here's Michael on the weak side. You got to put a body on him. Even the great ones make mistakes sometimes, and sometimes well, Michael doesn't have anybody to jump on his back over that one. He's got to put a body on Kendrick Brown, though.
Walker misses the runner. Here's Laettner, who replaced Jordan. Knocked down his first shot effort, coming off Doug Collins' bench.
You have to love what the scorers, the superstars, are doing for their teams right now. Stackhouse, once he got his scoring going, now he's penetrating, dishing off to other players, getting them involved.
Bremer on a great pass from Walker, but couldn't finish.
Well, Stack came over from the weak side.
Laettner again.
And again, Brent, that's set up by Jerry Stackhouse's penetration.
This is a 6-0 Wizard run, and they lead it by 2 as a result.
You get this kind of play all the time out of Stackhouse, where Michael's on the bench and he takes over.
Great play by Simmons. He's got Jerry Stackhouse going inside of Petit, draws the foul. Stackhouse on the line. Simmons, excellent job defensively. Charles Oakley not in uniform today, on the injured list for the Wizards. Michael Jordan taking a break. 10 points at 18 minutes. Timeout. we take a look at Michael Jordan, the flashbulbs go off, Sean, every time he shoots a free throw.
That's par for the course.
And enjoying his duel with Antoine Walker and doing a little teaching on the floor with Kwame Brown. Oh, he had a deuce there, but he just couldn't hang on.
5 years earlier, and he's gone the other way with that patented one-handed dunk.
How about that? 10 scoring titles, 6 NBA championships, 9 times he made the All-NBA defensive first team. You know, you don't realize how good a defender Michael Jordan was at the peak of his game. And
well, that's the forgotten part when people try to make comparisons with a lot of the young superstars today, because they score. Maybe they have the same kind of scoring average where they put up numbers that are somewhat similar on the offensive end. They're not doing the same things on the defensive end of the court.
Antoine backing Laettner down. Still looking, I believe, for his first field goal of this game. Antoine is now 0 of 4 from the floor.
Brent, when it's all said and done, though, he's going to finish in double figures. For that matter, he has 6 assists and 6 rebounds. I'd be surprised if he doesn't finish with a triple-double today.
You know, Simmons looks pretty smooth here today so far, Sean.
Well, he's taking advantage of his open looks. He knocked down his first 2 jumpers, hits that one along the baseline. This guy is getting off to a good start, showing good shooting touch.
Bad pass by Antoine that time.
He had Kedrick Brown in the corner when he first got the ball.
Dixon saw Laettner run the floor for the layup. That was good recognition by Dixon. Good peripheral that time because he was looking right, and Laettner was asking for the ball to the left, and he gave it to him.
Brent, that was an excellent no-look pass. Kidding me? That was incredible floor recognition.
Walker.
Maybe he won't finish in double figures.
Struggling now. Let's go to David Aldridge. David.
Guys, this is part of what the Wizards, part of the problem this season with Michael playing his last year. There's been so much emphasis on him. They have to find out about the rest of these guys. You can see right now, they just play differently when he's not on the floor. I think guys are more aggressive. Guys like Stackhouse are more aggressive. Dixon's more aggressive. And it's not because they can't play with Michael, but there's an obvious deferral to him when he's on the floor. But they have to find out about some of these young players in the next couple of months. They have to find out if Kwame Brown is a franchise player. They have to find out if Jerry Stackhouse can be a legitimate #1 option. They've got some other young guys that they have to find out about. And so these games that they play when Michael's not on the bench, this is a very important time for this franchise.
Now, David, what you're saying, you don't think he should have played with the Wizards, that he'd been better if he'd have stayed in the front office and not come back?
I think that there are pluses and minuses to everything, Brent.
Don't shade it now. Now, there is somebody here who happens to really agree with what you said. And he's a pretty good former NBA player himself, old Cedric Maxwell, who's a radio broadcaster here in Boston, and all season long he has been saying the same thing that David Aldridge just reported on, that it would have been better for the franchise if Michael had not played, that the young players would have matured. So, Sean, what's your take on this?
You know, I don't know about that. I think when you have a guy who's out there teaching the young guys and showing them how to prepare every day, it's going to make them better in the long run. Yeah, maybe it hurts their confidence now, and they defer a lot of that scoring responsibility to Michael, and they're a lot tighter when he's on the floor. But hopefully the kind of values that he's instilling in them will carry over.
Now, speaking as a fan, I hope he comes back next year. I just enjoy watching him compete.
Yeah, but then what happens to all those gifts on his farewell tour? Is he going to give them back? Give back your Harley.
Well, I don't see anybody on that list who I would say is going to make the NBA All-Star game next year without Michael. Let me just say that up front. I am not overly impressed with their youngsters.
They're young, Brent. And in this league, coaches and media members have a tendency to give up on the younger players, and they're yet to blossom.
So we'll take a break. The discussion to be continued. Meanwhile, the Wizards lead it, folks. Time out.
I thought I told you we'd be okay if we in a pair.
See something you feeling?
Yeah, classic, size 10.
Dressed to stop traffic, jeans fitting right.
strutting, know the world mind. Catch me at a light, holla, I ain't hearing you, dog. You can't stop her. Classics on my mind on the way to Foot
I usually don't walk, but when F.A.B. bop pass it, you could better send some Reebok classics. It's good seeing the whole classic.
Yeah, size 10.
Yeah, it's real simple. Feel the beat now. Go ahead, cop a pair, they classic Reebok.
Lesson 1.
Stilvoll.
Stylish.
Kraftvoll.
Powerful.
Was für ein Auto ist das?
What kind of car is this?
Introducing the all-new 240 horsepower Accord from Honda.
Wie haben Sie das geschafft?
How did they do it?
We've come this far. It's within our grasp. We can do it. Know what time is it? Winning time! I can't hear you. What time is it? Winning time! Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Winning time!
It's time for McDonald's new Winning Time game. Just peel, reveal for a chance to win great prizes like drive time, sell time, cash time, and chow time. It's fast, fun, and easy.
What time is it? Winning time! No, what time is it really? We've got practice.
Picture the moon glow, it dazzles my eyes, and I love you, fresh and deep as ocean's new.
The best things in life are pure, especially when it comes to water. Aquafina, purity guaranteed.
Pure and simple just for you.
Tuesday, the wait is over. Blue returns with all new episodes.
Come on!
Oh my God. All new Blue, ABC Tuesday, 10/9 Central.
Game 2 of the NBA on ABC today comes to you from Philly. Sacramento taking on Philadelphia. Mike Tirico and company here at the First Union Center. We'll have a look ahead to Game 2 coming up at halftime, plus the world premiere of the next NBA Love It Live video from Christina Aguilera. I get to play VJ at halftime. See you then, Brett and Sean.
Thank you. We look forward to that. And here, 3:15 to go in the first half. The Wizards leading the Celtics 43-34. And I guess the story from a shooting standpoint is Antoine Walker. He is 0 for 5 from the floor. Remember, I told you before the start of the game, the Wizards had beaten the Celtics twice this year.
Right.
And Antoine had not scored in either of those setbacks. He'd not put up big numbers yet against it.
Well, he's had his looks.
Stackhouse with a good attack.
Stackhouse. If you're the Celtics, you have to wonder how that happens. He splits a pick and roll. A man steps up to stop him, and he moves around them in the air. He beats 3 defenders on 1 play.
Pierce coming into Laettner. Christian fouled him. Christian thought he had position on it. Sean, didn't Sacramento go out by 19 Friday night on the Celtics?
Yes, they did. The Celtics came back. Watch Jerry Stackhouse. 1-2 defenders. There's the third one. He beats 3 men to score that basketball. And that's how difficult it is to get the ball in the bucket, and that shows you the talent of Jerry Stackhouse. But yes, Brent, the Celtics were down 19, and with so many young teams, they don't play defense until their offense starts rolling. Once their offense started going, then they picked it up defensively, got back in the game.
Now we're going to put the David Aldridge theory to the test. We're going to see if the Wizards, David, it's a 10-point margin right now, and Michael's on the floor, and we're going to see if the Wizards are going to go soft and rely just on number 23. So
Brent, are you putting words in my mouth again?
That wouldn't get you in trouble in your hometown. You know that. I'll have Tony Kornheiser on the phone to you. Now, see now, Dixon. There it is, David, knocking it down.
There you go. There's the aggressiveness you want to see.
But you know you have to feel the pressure. If Michael's making the pass to you, you have to knock down the shot.
See, the Wizards are they're in a really tough spot. They know that, for example, the other players know that Christian Laettner right now is a better player than Kwame Brown. They know that. They understand that. They also know that the future of this franchise is Kwame Brown. And so there's this dichotomy between getting this guy playing time and then trying to win games and make the playoffs. So they have that push and pull throughout the organization, and that's part of the problem this year, is that they want to make the playoffs desperately. At the same time, they want to develop some of these young players.
David, at the professional level, wins are what counts. I don't care who you got to use out there.
Exactly. But if you want to develop those young guys, I remember after my second year, and I went to college for 4 years. After my second year in the league, I went to summer league to try to improve my game even more. So even though these guys are young and they're the superstars and he's the first pick of the draft, put him in summer league. Get him playing time this summer. Don't take your summer off.
Kwame had trouble on the catch. Here comes Stackhouse, knocked away from him. Well, let's go to one of my favorite executives, Joe Dumars. He drafts White with his first pick. Didn't work out in Detroit.
Right.
He didn't make it work in progress. He simply got rid of him and got another player. All right.
And that happens too.
I think it's very hard to learn. If I had to say there was any reason why these youngsters should go to college, it's to learn how to play the game of basketball before they come to the NBA.
Exactly.
There's no time for learning up here when that 82-game schedule starts. That's not what you're involved in. You owe the fans victories. That's what they're coming to see your team do, period.
Well, Brent, you're throwing a guy into an algebra class when he doesn't even know basic math.
Exactly.
And these guys are by-stepping college, and that's exactly where you get all your fundamentals. You really learn how to play with other people.
Simmons taps the ball out. I think one of the exceptions of coming right from high school into the NBA level is Kevin Garnett. But remember, he was 6'11".
But if you look at all those guys, if you look at their numbers, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, all these guys that have bypassed college, their first year, their first 2 years, they didn't score a lot of points. I mean, Kobe, I believe he averaged 6 or 7 points a game his first year.
Well, Tracy McGrady, I mean, there was a coach up in Toronto, I can't remember, as Blunt puts it down now for the Celts. It might have been Walker, who said, it was Butch Carter, who said that I'm not sure Tracy McGrady's going to make it. And look at him right now. He's leading the league in scoring.
It's so delicate because you can lose your confidence that early.
Air ball, Simmons underneath, battles. He's had a good first half for the Wizards here. Dixon, good shooter. Not this time into Pierce's hands now. Celts trail it by 7.
They contested every single shot on that possession.
Delk from the corner.
Antoine Walker still distributing the basketball, and I love that about his game. He can definitely do it a lot more. Tonight, he could have 4 or 5 more assists.
There's Laettner in position. Good pass by Dixon.
Yeah, that time Laettner just uses his body and keeps the basketball away from the defenders. No chance to block at that time.
Pierce steps out and makes the 3.
Nice controlled shot, had his legs underneath him. That's when they start knocking down shots, not when they take those tough threes.
Dixon misses, and the Celts trying to close out the half here on a positive note.
Dixon was trying to go 2 for 1.
You know, Dave is looking pretty good. It was 10 when Michael came back, and they've got it. we may have to concede to him. Laettner jumps out, and the blocking foul is going to be called.
Yeah, Paul Pierce sold that.
Yes, he did.
Well, Laettner did a great job jumping out, trying to keep Paul Pierce from going and turning the corner. And Pierce just kind of wins his Golden Globe.
Go. 16 points in the first half for Pierce. Now 17. Laettner out again.
Checking in for the Wizards, number 10, Lou, replacing number 24, Christian Laettner.
So Doug gives himself an extra 3-point shooter here with Lou with 9.8 seconds left.
Oh, because you know where the ball's going. It's going into Michael's hands. He's going to try to do something. If he can't create a shot for himself, you know that the defense is going to suck into him. He's going to have 2 or 3 guys focused on him, and it's going to open somebody else up for an open look.
Smooth as silk on those 2 free throws.
Paul Pierce can score from everywhere on the floor, Britt.
Jordan screens. It's Lou with the shot. Michael Jordan in the first half, 10 points, but they came early in this game. He plays 20 minutes, 4 of 9 from the field with 5 rebounds.
And the Wizards did open up a 10-point lead, and now it is down to 4. And let's go to David Aldridge with Jerry Stackhouse.
Stack, you guys got off to a pretty good start today. Milwaukee lost last night. You guys still feel like there's a shot for you?
Oh, yeah, we definitely. We're just taking it one game at a time. I mean, we can't control what Milwaukee does. The only thing we can try to do is control what we do. And we got 7 more games, so we definitely try to win all we can and see what happens.
Looked like in the first half you all were able to get inside and get some penetration and get to the foul line.
I mean, yeah, they're a team that converges on the ball, and we feel that we can able to get in the middle of, what they're doing right in the paint, that we're going to get good shots, good 15-foot jump shots all night.
Jerry, thanks very much. Good luck second half. Back to you, Brent.
All right, David, into the first half now. 49-45 is the score. And Mike Tirico and Tom Tobel will be along with the Verizon Wireless halftime report after these messages. So in the end, it was Jerry Stackhouse picking up the scoring slack for Doug Collins and the Wizards. From the perimeter and on the attack. We're at halftime. Mike Tirico is coming up.
Beat the Celtics by 4 here at the break. Well, as you've been watching NBA games all season on national and local TV for that matter, you've seen the Love It Live music videos with current NBA players and past stars like Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra providing the musical accompaniment, but current stars as well, including Christina Aguilera. There is a Christina Aguilera song that's part of the Love It Live playoff version 2003 video, and here is the world premiere of that song. The playoff fight begins in about 13 days. Playoffs start next Saturday on ESPN at high noon. Thank you for watching the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report. A reminder, an update from ABC News on the latest in the war in Iraq is coming up next. Then we'll send you to Boston for the second half. Jerry Stackhouse leading the Wizards in scoring as usual. Washington up 4. An update for ABC News. Then to Boston for half number 2 right after this.
Stats with the Wizards leading at 49-45, and they did it shooting a pretty low percentage here, Sean.
Yeah, you look at these stats, they're almost early on. No way you can stop him one-on-one, taking Antoine Walker. He talks trash without even saying anything. Jerry Stackhouse taking 2 defenders here to the bucket, 1-on-2. Nice little fadeaway. Let's add a defender. This time he takes 3 men. Still scores the bucket. That shows you the talent, the ability that Jerry Stackhouse possesses.
So the supporting cast. Kwame Brown with only the 1 field goal and 3 rebounds. Christian Laettner has 5 field goals in this game. He has more field goals than any player on either team right now. So he has been a strong member of the supporting cast. Kwame will open up the second half along with Michael, Lou, Laettner, and Stackhouse. Pierce and Walker, of course, are out on the floor. The ringleaders, the Celtics, and Antoine is still searching for his first field goal of the game. He is 0 for 5, and chances are that won't last long.
Yeah,
Kwame steps out, and he's on the free throw line.
See, he's got to learn there You know, he has that shot, but he can put that ball on the drill, put the ball on the floor, use his size. That turnaround jumper, he shot that ball from almost his chest. Does a great job cutting toward the basketball, but now this is where he can put the ball down, use his size, his strength, and get to the bucket.
So it'll be the Wizards getting it back. Kwame hustling after his miss, and there were two Celts over there, and in the scramble, Boston knocked it out.
You know, one of the toughest things, Brent, when you're a young player is you get advice from everywhere. It's just like golf. You want to listen to one person. You don't want to get, you know, instructions while you're out there on the course. Kwame Brown's getting instructions from virtually everybody on the floor and the coaching staff.
Let's check in with David Aldridge. David.
Guys, Celtics not happy with their defense at halftime, especially on the screens. They thought that Stackhouse and Laettner killed them coming down screen, and they didn't jump out and stop them. The other thing is they were hoping to post up Eric Williams against Michael Jordan all day, but Williams picked up those early 2 fouls, had to come out. They're going to try to get back to that in the second half.
Yeah, David, good point, because that took away part of their strategy in the early going. Over the top to Kwame, who's got Walker on him. Laettner moves over, and now that's 6 field goals today for Christian Laettner.
And that's why guys like him, because he just knows how to play. Picks his spots. And I thought early on in the game he was getting set up by everybody else. Did a great job on one play in the first half, posting up and using his body to keep that ball away. That time he steps out and knocks down the jumper.
Delk. He also thought Kwame fouled him. Laettner started 1 for 7 from the field, but he's been perfect since. He's hit his last 5.
Well, you see Kwame Brown makes the pass and then steps up and sets that screen for Christian Laettner.
Stackhouse.
Jerry Stackhouse.
The Wizards are in a rhythm here. You don't know whether or not they can finish, which they were unable to do against Atlanta and Denver, and tough losses recently, but they've hung tough here against the Celtics, whom they have beaten in their 2 earlier meetings this year. Williams rattles out, and there's Jordan sealing off Walker.
You're right, they are in a rhythm. And their defense has picked up as well. They're not getting beat down the floor like they did early in this ball game.
Michael, daylight.
Oh, boy. He just suckers you. You think he's going to come off that little screen that's being set. He goes the opposite way, and he makes you look bad. He's showing you some quickness, Brent, for 40 years old.
Walker still looking for that first field goal.
Oh, here's that play by MJ. Watch when he catches this ball. He starts to go out like he's going to run off this screen and goes the other way on you. And Antoine Walker was cheating, trying to get over that screen.
Pierce kicks in the 3 ball.
Right when we talk about their defense being solid, you allow Paul Pierce to come off the screen and get a wide open 3 from the corner, no less.
Staying alive with the 3 ball here, 5 of 16. It's a +4. Michael missing. Kwame knocked the ball out of bounds. Well, the Wizards have struggled against the 3 ball over the last dozen games. You can see the opponents have hit 86. Walker really struggling, isn't he, Sean?
Yeah, right now he just can't get anything to fall. His shots look like they're flat and they're hard. They're hitting the back of the rim.
0 for 8.
But he's still doing all the little things.
Stackhouse.
Oh boy, that's the second time Stack has come off this quarter off of a screen, and immediately he's up with the basketball. It doesn't even touch the rim, Brent. He's feeling good about his jumper right now.
Low to Pierce. Stackhouse complaining that he was pushed.
Well, that's a set play for them. They put Pierce down low on the block. They put the other 4 guys on the perimeter, and Paul Pierce just steps into you. He uses his size and his strength against you.
Kwame bumps
Can't get through Williams. Back to Jordan. The 3-ball for Michael.
He bails him out that time. Kwame Brown needs to take advantage of that mismatch. He has 6 or 7 inches on Eric Williams down low.
Well, Pierce carrying the load for the Celts. He has 15 of their last 19 points, and he's going again.
See, Paul Pierce shot that ball. I like his creativity, but he had Eric Williams cutting to the bucket. He was wide open.
It'll be Stackhouse's turn.
How about that? The Boston fans are yelling at Michael to take Antoine off the dribble. They want him to take their player to the rack.
Another 3-ball by Pierce, continuing to carry the scoring load here. 26 points for Pierce.
And that's the luxury in having 2 superstars. You have one guy that's not hitting, even though he's doing the other things, rebounding, passing the ball. You have another guy who's capable of carrying the load.
On the line again. So there you can see the numbers now. 18 of Boston's last 22.
And a couple of them he hasn't had to work hard at all for him. Wide open threes. When you have a guy like that who's such a prolific scorer, you got to make him work for every single attempt.
Laettner breaking away and couldn't put it away on the layup.
He did a nice job slipping that screen. The rim was his enemy.
Sellout crowd in Boston today as Williams finishes for the Celtics, watching what is probably Michael Jordan's last NBA game in a city where he has averaged better than 34 points a game. Michael and the Wizards are 4 up on the Boston Celtics right now, 61-57. Wide open Stackhouse improves his position and the Wizards lead.
That is a rarity. When do you see a guy that's wide open in this league behind the 3-point line and takes a dribble in, especially when you have 3-point range?
With good defense. Stackhouse down on Pierce. Gets doubled and loses it from behind, and over it goes.
Wow. Amazing quickness by Tony Delk that time.
Pierce on the drive. Doesn't get the call, ball out of bounds. Celts ball. Well, you can catch live NBA action on NBA TV. The Mavericks are trying to secure a home court advantage throughout the playoffs. And Tuesday at 10:30, they visit the 3-time champion Lakers. The Mavericks and the Lakers. Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. only on NBA TV. Mavericks and the Lakers. Who knows? Maybe they'll square off in the first round of the playoffs. Could happen, folks. Life after 40 for great athletes. Gordie Howe, an all-star at the age of 45 and 46. Nolan Ryan, a couple of no-hitters in his 40s. And don't forget Jerry Rice, 92 receptions. And how about the great discus thrower Al Order? And then, of course, still at the top of this game. Still wrestling at the age of 49. The Hulkster himself, Hulk Hogan. So,
and you're still going strong too, Brent, at 45. What?
Love your shot.
You see Michael with that head fake, and he's just, you know, just clowning around. He could have taken that ball to the bucket if he wanted to.
Now Michael Jordan, 6 of 14. He hit a 3, 15 points in 29 minutes. He's played more minutes than anybody on the Wizards here today. Wizards up a point, 63-62. And Laettner fouls Battie, and Battie comes to the line to see if he can do something about that 1-point deficit.
See, Brent, here, this is one thing that needs to be changed here. You have Antoine Walker, who absolutely spoon feeds Tony Battie. And if he knocks down any of these shots, how come you don't get an assist for it?
Good point.
I mean, it should be like hockey or something. You should get like half an assist if the guy makes one.
Deadlock.
I mean, you know, after all, Antoine Walker did make the pass that gets Tony Battie to the free throw line. But you get nothing for this.
It's a good thing that Jordan and Walker aren't paying for their conversation by the minute. They have been talking non-stop here.
I don't think he's saying anything to incite Michael.
So on Batiste free throws now, we've changed leads a dozen times here.
Well, you remember our game in New York where Michael got into a little talking conversation. Here he is moving without the basketball, a little fake like he's going out to get that screen, comes back door on you, still moving around, showing you those young legs at 40 years old.
Flash bulbs exploding.
You see all those flashes. I don't think it's a distraction for Michael. After all those years playing in big-time situations, this guy's had more pressure on him than any athlete I've ever seen.
He is the ultimate Kodak moment, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
How many times has he been on the cover of Sports Illustrated? I think it's over 50. Here's Williams. You know, the championship game in the NCAA is down in New Orleans. That was the first time I was really around Michael a lot back in '82. He won that great championship game against Patrick Ewing at Georgetown with that little jump shot from the corner. And see, Matt Doherty, the former coach, was on that team.
Yes.
That was James Worthy. Played a great championship game. And now Monday night you get Roy Williams, who was one of the assistant coaches for Dean Smith. Sean, who do you like Monday night? Syracuse, Jimmy Boeheim, the coach, Roy Williams, Kansas. Who you take?
Yeah, I want to say Kansas because they knocked out my team. But after watching Carmelo Anthony play, wow.
You know, Anthony reminds me of Danny Manning. Back, I believe it was in '88, playing for Larry Brown. He led them to a championship. He might be that good.
Yeah, but Danny Manning wasn't coming, you know, reverse baseline two-handed dunks.
That's true.
Like they were nothing.
He put on a great show yesterday in eliminating Texas. He'll be a top draft pick. He's coming out, everybody says, after his freshman year at Syracuse. We heard he was a top 3 choice.
Yeah, I would pick him top 3 easily. That being said, and I love Danny Manning too, but Carmelo Anthony, all the young players are so much better these days. I should say more talented. You see Antoine Walker finally gets his first bucket of the game off a trick shot.
Into Williams' hands. The Celts building a 3, looking for a 5. Rattles out into Jordan's hands. Michael, I think, just told Lou to go to the baseline. Yep. And now on the exchange, he comes around Simmons, and they can't quite get it to him fast enough. Good pass by Laettner inside. Simmons on the free throw line. Well, the second half of our NBA doubleheader, Chris Webber will lead Sacramento against Allen Iverson and Philly. Both teams fighting for a conference title and home court advantage in the playoffs. Kings, Sixers next on ABC Sports, home of the NBA Finals. Well, David Aldridge, where you been, my friend? Getting a cup of coffee? We've missed you here.
You know, guys, you talk about Larry Brown's situation, and a lot of people are asking whether Larry Brown is going to wind up with the Carolina job if Roy Williams says no. But one thing people need to keep in mind, the Olympic head coach, by mandate of USA Basketball, has to be an NBA head coach at the time he has the job. So if Larry Brown wants to take the Carolina job, that means he would have to give up the Olympic job as well, and I think that's something that Larry would be very reluctant to do. It's something that's meant a lot to him over the years. He really has wanted this for 20 years to be the Olympic head coach. I'd be very surprised if he gave it up for any job at this point of his career.
David, don't you think there's a chance that Roy Williams might say yes this time?
Absolutely. I mean, I would imagine that it would be very difficult for him to say no again. Especially if Kansas wins tomorrow night, Brent.
Well, Pierce must have heard that as he knocks that shot down. The old Jayhawk makes it a 71-67 game here. Celtics now with the lead, coming down to the last minute of the third quarter. Then we'll move to the money quarter.
They're all money quarters, Brent.
Some are bigger money than others, says Bobby Brown with a Solid baseline move left that time, and pulls the Wizards back to within 2.
Now, see, Kwame shows you he has a turnaround jumper.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, you see flashes of his talent.
Walker rattles out. Just won't stay down for him today.
He needs to try, a more difficult shot. Try throwing it off the glass with one hand.
Pierce will yo-yo and bring it on down now to the closing seconds.
Yeah, you don't want to meet him too far outside the three-point line. He's going to blow past you.
And foul to give. Washington had a foul to give, and that was as good a time as any by Simmons to do it. Out of bounds sideline.
Oh, it's a great time to use that foul.
Dixon checks in for the Wizards.
Well, Paul Pierce, he ran that clock down to about 6 or 7 seconds. That's the appropriate time to make your move. And the Wizards wisely using that foul. Now you have to run an inbounds play and hope that you get it organized.
Dilk on the dribble. Gets inside with the floater. Not to be at the buzzer.
After 3 quarters, the Boston Celtics 71.
So Paul Pierce carrying the Celts offensively. 29 points here. 9 of 10 at that free throw line. Jerry Stackhouse leading Washington with 18. 6 of 12 from the field. This presentation of the NBA on ABC will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Keep their dwindling playoff hopes alive, and there's only a slim chance that they're going to make it. And they start this final quarter down to 71-69. Jordan getting his final break of the game. Simmons on the floor along with Brown, Stackhouse, Dixon taking the 3 ball and making it.
Juan Dixon has played excellent basketball for this team. For being a rookie and not getting a lot of playing time early on, he certainly has come on in the second half of the year.
Bremer, Walker, Blount, Pierce, and McCarty. Here's Antoine, 1 of 11. Kick over now to Bremer on the left-hand 3. Rebound Laettner.
Good shot, though. Everybody touches the ball that possession.
Laettner tried to feed Kwame.
You got to throw it up high. You can't just throw a chest-high pass to Blount. It's too long.
McCarty nails the 3. We've got 16 lead changes in this game.
That's his shot, Brent. Get 2 of those in the first half from the corner. Going to give him that wide open look from 22 feet. He's going to knock it down all day.
Simmons.
Simmons is showing some shooting prowess.
Now he's made 4 field goals in this game.
That was an excellent jumper. Picture perfect rotation on it. He stepped up like he shot it with a ton of confidence.
Pierce's 3. That's 32 now for Paul.
That's supreme confidence. He's checking if defenders are coming out, and he's just raising up for 3s.
Against the Celts. 23 returns from the stretch, and I didn't think they were going to take Simmons out, and they weren't. He dashed over there, but I was surprised, and now it'll be Kwame Brown who will leave.
Yeah, you can't take Simmons out. He just hit a bucket for you.
Now here is the race for that final spot. The Wizards trail Milwaukee by 1 in the loss column. 2 games in hand. They're 2.5 out. But again, to go back on a graphic we showed you in the first half, Milwaukee, 3 of their 4 remaining games at home.
You go down 3 to Milwaukee. They're already up 4 on you in the win column.
Shot clock expires. So another look at the remaining games. The Wizards have been struggling as of late. Not an overpowering group of opponents on the left, but look at Milwaukee, home with the Clippers, Indiana, and Orlando. And their only road game is into Toronto. So you make Milwaukee an overwhelming favorite to wind up with that final playoff spot in the East because of the schedule.
Yeah, but you never know still in this wacky East with the losing streaks that every single team has gone through. At one point or another, all these teams have gone through horrible losing periods.
And McCarty knocks down another three. That's 2 threes in this quarter alone, 4 for the game. And a timeout is called. Boston suddenly leads it by 6 as Walter McCarty nails 2 3-balls and becomes the shooter of the moment.
Didn't I tell you he could knock it down, Brent? He steps into that one with a ton of confidence, and when he shot that ball, he started backpedaling because he knew it was good.
So McCarty and the Celtics lead at 80-74. We got a timeout in Boston.
Oh yeah, summertime, flip-flop, small top, party bumping non-stop. So much ice in my cooler, you think I was a jeweler. Bling, catching rays, making plays. Summer got more zap than a microwave. Dig blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes too. All the honeys checking who? The king of Malibu. The silver bizzle.
I had lotion on my hands. I burn easily.
My car makes me feel like the road is my playground.
The Camry SE. More standard features, same low price.
When athletes sweat, they lose more than just water. Gatorade puts back sodium and potassium, proven to replenish and rehydrate athletes better than water. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Live on TV and execution.
A reality television show. How to blow up a network president.
The firm's unstable client wants it to happen.
You're out of your mind.
How far will a network go for ratings?
Boom!
Andy McDowell in The Practice, all new ABC Monday, 9/8 Central.
Let's get back to the entertainment.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Well, as they say goodbye to Michael Jordan, it's been a 3-fest here for the Celtics in the fourth quarter. All 9 of their points have come via the 3-ball. Paul Pierce with 1 and Walter McCarty with a pair. And you can see that when they hit the 3, Sean, they're a much more dangerous team to deal with.
Yeah, because usually that means they're moving the basketball and everybody's getting good looks at the bucket. It's when they struggle when they get caught playing one-on-one basketball, the ball doesn't move, and you have those stagnant shots.
The crowd picking up the tempo here in the FleetCenter. Feeling that the Celtics can end the Jordan era with a decisive win. And they're up right now 80-74 with 9 minutes to go. Lou replaces Dixon. Pierce knocks it away and out of bounds.
You know, if the Celtics can continue to play this type of defense, Brent, really carry it over. And the other night, they were dead on the defensive end against the Sacramento Kings. They got some offensive points, and then they picked it up. They just continue to play defense for 48 minutes instead of relying solely on their offense. You have a team that can go deep into the playoffs.
Boston basketball. Antoine Walker only 1 of 11 from the floor, but he's had 13 assists, 1 off his career high. Another 3, but not this time.
Well, that one was contested. Instead of giving him a wide open look.
Stackhouse back to MJ. Off iron and into Pierce's hands. Jordan with 17 points in this game. Antoine turns and foul called as he spun around and forced his way through. Go down to Washington.
They're saying he used that off arm, created an advantage for himself. That's an offensive foul whenever you use that off arm to hook. See those 13 assists. I thought he's going to have a triple-double, but unless he gets a bunch of rebounds and scores some buckets, not going to happen.
Again, but Laettner with a strong offensive rebound and put back.
And how many times do you have to talk about putting a body on somebody? Simple boxing out.
So Laettner covering Jordan's back that time. And the Celtics lead is 4. But again, they've hit three balls. McCarty to screen on Stackhouse. Laettner switches on Bremer. Bad miss, and now the Wizards can inch closer.
Yeah, those are the threes they struggle on. When they all try to take it themselves and knock down the 3-ball instead of receiving passes.
Stackhouse goes past Bremer, tap back. No, there's Laettner again coming up, knocked away. Now Walker on the move. But McCarty with his long reach pulls it down, stolen by Simmons, headman Stackhouse. Williams still back.
The fans not happy with that one. Antoine Walker got caught up in the air and he didn't know what he wanted to do with the basketball. It just ended up throwing it near the rim so he could go back and try to get it.
8 on the shot for MJ. Walker the defender. Michael going. Kick now to Simmons, the open man, knocks it down again. So Michael Jordan, he's got fans of every description carrying jerseys, masks, you name it. They want the Celtics to win, but they want number 23 to do well. And Simmons has been a great role player here, Sean.
Well, the recipient of a beautiful pass by Michael Jordan. He's not going to miss that one.
Timeout.
Morning.
Those are all good, but after cheating on me, he deserves something way more painful.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I thought I told you we'd be okay if we in a pair.
See something you feeling? Yeah, classic, size 10.
Dressed to stop traffic, jeans fitting right. Strutting know the world mind, catch me at a light. Holla, I ain't hearing you, dog. You can't stop her. Classics on my mind on the way to Foot Locker.
I usually don't walk, but when F.A. Bebop pass it, you could better send some Reebok classics. It's good seeing the whole classic.
Yeah, size 10.
Yeah, it's real simple. Feel the beat now. Go ahead, cop a pair, they classic Reebok.
Give me the card.
You're bound to have a good time with Verizon Wireless and unlimited text messaging for only $2.99 monthly access. Plus, share unlimited night and weekend minutes on the America's Choice National Family Share Plan. So don't miss out on some surefire fun. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
This spring, Brad, you're not a rapper. The only way to change him.
This is my sizzle, the Rizzle.
Is to scare the blackout. Jamie Kennedy.
Don't be hating.
Malibu's Most Wanted.
I'm the shiznit.
Rated PG-13. Starts April 18th.
Hey, Tom, what's good? I start with a blend of Monterey and cheddar cheeses and add garlic, little oregano, rosemary.
Sounds like a great sandwich. Sandwich? That was just the bread.
Subway's new Italian urban cheese, baked with savory spices, topped with Monterey and cheddar cheeses.
Subway, eat fresh!
Kobe is on fire, and the Lakers are rolling. But they face a fight against the talented Trailblazers. NBA Sundays on ABC. Next week, coverage begins at 3 Eastern. We got hoops.
The NBA on ABC, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Life is best told at a place called Miller Time. And the Reebok Classic CLO.
Well, through the years in Chicago and Washington, one of the great joys in watching Michael Jordan compete is how much he enjoys being in the limelight, how much he enjoys being out on the floor, and it carries over to the fans. One of the great smiles in sports history, and always willing to take on an opponent verbally out on the floor. What a classic move that was.
One thing's apparent, Brent, is that he's still having fun playing this game.
Absolutely.
You know, his only problem is that he set such a high standard for himself that he has to live up to it. People are trying to say, hey, he needs to retire. He's still averaging 20 points a game.
Well, those of us who have admired him through the years, and there are millions out there, we would have dearly loved to see him go to the playoffs one more time, but they've really got their hands full now. It's going to be uphill all the way, and McCarty draws the foul.
Walter did a nice job of setting a screen and cutting toward the bucket. Best way to get open in this league, besides moving without the ball, is to set a screen for somebody else. Free somebody else up, and you'll also free yourself.
Yeah, I'm reminded that SportsCenter conversation coming up with more of Michael Jordan, Antoine Walker tonight.
Which is, you know, it's all in good fun, because the last game we had with Michael in New York, he started jarring with somebody, and he got a little upset.
Yeah, this is a couple of all-stars, and of course, Michael not wanting Antoine Walker to find his touch. Antoine only 1 for 12, so whatever Michael is saying is certainly working, Sean.
Well, you know, Antoine knows not to bait him. Shannon Anderson baited him in New York. Michael ripped off like 18 straight points.
Celtics are up by 4, down toward the 6-minute mark. The double, cross court to Simmons, who's had a hot hand. Michael finding him, going to the left hand, and Simmons showing some game here today.
Yeah, that was a classy move. Feels the defense, feels the pressure, spins the opposite way. Nice lefty hook off the glass.
That's 14 Celtics ball. That's 14 for Bobby Simmons. He's 6 of 9 from the field. Hit a couple of free throws.
Well, he's knocked down every open shot that he's had tonight. And then he makes it happen for himself on the block that last possession.
Kick to McCarty for the 3. His third three-point hoop of the fourth quarter. A 5-point Celtic lead.
You have to love Walter. For a guy that size.
Stackhouse back with a graceful J. Another one of the many Tar Heels found life after Chapel Hill in the NBA. Pierce backing. And Michael was in the passing lane, leading McCarty, drawing the double team, and waiting now for half court.
Oh, Paul Pierce was trying to go back to the well. He knows that Walter McCarty has the hot hand.
Stackhouse again, and Laettner with a strong offensive rebound. Michael wants it.
Now Walter's going to try his hand at him.
And Antoine Walker will try to seal up Simmons, because Jordan's looking for Simmons, and they know it. Missed this time, and Michael's got the offensive rebound, and it's taken away.
Yeah, good looking penetration, good looking shot by Simmons. That's a tough 3. Sometimes you have to feel the flow of the game, and I know you have it going, but you can get that shot anytime you want.
Wizards trail it by 3. Lou kicks into Stackhouse. Tough turnaround, and Walker rebounds. The Wizards had their chances the last 2 trips, and Walker misses the driving layup, and now I believe that's 1 for 13.
The fans are unhappy.
Michael does not miss.
They're still winning the ball game and they're booing.
19 points and the Wizards pull to within 1. And Michael is loving every moment of it here in Boston.
Yeah, he's having a good time. His team's fighting for their lives.
Antoine's going to get an earful.
Yeah,
he's playing. Here's Pierce. Stackhouse switches. Pierce on a spin. Got Laettner in the air and drew the foul.
Almost hits that shot.
That's 4 fouls on Laettner.
Here's Michael coming down. You got to pick him up early on. Little jab step like he's going to the bucket. He freezes the defender. Walter McCarty tries to recover, but just in time for a jumper. I don't know how Paul Pierce managed to get that shot off. He was playing with it for so long. Spinning, crossing over. It's like 1-on-3 out there.
So the Wizards come back down now, trailing it by 3 here at the 3:08 mark. Draws the foul. It's on McCarty. That's number 3. And Michael said, when are you going to go off, Antoine? How long is this drought going to last? You know what, folks? He's also the best trash talker I've ever been around. Timeout. Years has been Boston. He has put up some phenomenal numbers as you look back at his career in this city. 2 games plus 50 points. He's averaged better than 34 points a game over 47 of the playoffs. And there was that one afternoon across the street in the old Boston Garden, the stuff that legends were made of, when number 23 of the Chicago Bulls, back in April of '86, lit up Larry Bird and the Celtics for 63 points.
And that's when it all started, because after that game, everybody really woke up to the fact that Michael Jordan was going to be big time. It's going to be huge. The game before that, he had 49.
39 minutes here today. And Williams and Simmons are pushing away, and it's against Walker. 3rd team foul here. Lou takes the inbounds pass with the Wizards down 3 inside of 3 minutes. Michael didn't finish. The crowd wanted that one to go in. They want the Celtics to win, but they wanted him to score on that.
I tell you what, he's 40 years old, Brent, and if I tried that move today, I'd be laid up for about a week.
There's the steal now by Michael. Pass over to Simmons to finish on that side, who draws the foul. And Simmons to the free throw line, and Michael stops for another chat with Antoine.
They're just jarring all night long. And one thing that's impressed me about Michael is his defense this year. But you see that, 2 or 3 years ago, he puts that down with a nice reverse. But he shows you his ability to beat defenders off the dribble still.
And a few years ago, Dennis Rodman would have cleaned up the miss. So Bobby Simmons with a miss at the free throw line. He can still make this a 2-point game, which he does.
It's a shame that you set your standards so high that even when you're averaging 20 points a game, which would be a career year for 99% of the players that have ever gone through this league, that after averaging 20 a game this year, people think that you should retire.
Pierce on the drive through, and Paul Pierce has led the Celtics with 36 points here today.
But there's no stopping him, especially when he gets that outside jumper flowing. When he decides to take the ball to the basket, it's been a long time since I've seen anything like Paul Pierce, where he's going to go through 2 or 3 people to score.
Jordan on a big moment keeps him within 2.
A nice fadeaway. See that elevation at 40 years old? And this guy's elevating 2 or 3 feet off the ground.
Now we're inside of 2 minutes. Pierce wants to go on Stackhouse. Misses, and the Wizards can tie it.
That's Pierce's shot, too. He likes that little step back jumper along the baseline.
McCarty picks up 23 coming to the baseline. Laettner out high. Michael's got McCarty on him. Takes him with that quick step, ties it. Michael Jordan knocks the score at 89 with 1:17 to go here.
Brent, that move was compact and precise. One dribble on the floor, straight up with it.
To Williams for the lead, and Jordan fouls him. Watch the last two possessions here.
Oh, this time he sets a screen, then pops off immediately into a free throw line turnaround jumper. Now watch this, a little head and shoulder fake freezes you straight up with the jumper. That was a strong looking jump shot.
Williams puts the Celtics ahead with the free throw. I believe that Doug Collins just told the team that if he makes this one, call the timeout. Which he does, and it's timeout Wizards. The Celtics lead it by 2, 107 when we come back. Let's play. 23 points for MJ in his last appearance probably here in Boston. He's gone 41 minutes here today. Our Toyota game track. Wizards shooting only 38% in that opening quarter, have picked it up. Boston with 26 in the paint, but it's not been Antoine Walker. He's only 1 of 13. Now down 2 with the basketball. Wizards bring it to the attack. Nine on the shot. Pierce against Jordan. All-star against all-star. Here we go. Pump fake in the air. Michael tied.
Paul Pierce did everything in the book to stop Michael from scoring. And when he hit that turnaround, Michael just laughed, and Paul Pierce could do nothing but look at Michael and laugh. Both cracking smiles.
Now Pierce wants to continue the shootout, and you just know that Antoine Walker, when he's only 1 of 13, he wants the big shot to fall, because that will erase the 1 for 13. We've got 33 in the game now, 14 on the shot.
Well, they better make a shot, because Michael's
got daylight. And it's the Wizards ball, and you know who they're going to find at least once, number 23, and it's a timeout again. Michael, I don't think, wanted the timeout. Doug was up, and I think Michael was trying to rub him off. He wanted to come down to the attack that time.
Well, because you give the defense a chance to set up now, and they're going to be focused on Michael. And here's MJ fighting for the basketball. Pierce forces him out on the perimeter. Does an excellent job. Watch him moving his feet. Not reaching too much. Does a great job keeping his feet. But you just can't contain Michael Jordan. He's off balance here, Brent. Keeps his pivot foot. Nice spin move. Drops that fadeaway. You tell me if he's having a good time.
25 points, 42 minutes. Why quit, Michael? Keep playing. I'm out.
On Michael Jordan, this is Paul Pierce guarding him. And Paul, if he's not the best defender, he's one of the best defenders on the perimeter for the Celtics. But that just shows you there with Michael, you can't even hope to contain him. Got to make sure you get the ball out of his hands. If I'm the Celtics, I make somebody else on the floor beat me besides Michael Jordan or Jerry Stackhouse.
Now, did Doug Collins tell him to take the shot clock down? There's 22 on the game, 19 on the shot. How much does he want to give the Celtics if it comes up with a miss? How far down will they take this shot?
I tell you what, I would take it down as far as possible. If you shoot the ball, you give them 3 or 4 seconds to push the ball off the floor. Makes it a much more difficult attempt at a game winner.
That's just what Lou is doing. Bringing seconds down off the shot clock, getting it down inside of 10. And now here they come. Michael has Pierce on him. Michael trying to maneuver, trying to get free. Now there's 4. Now it's going to be Lou. Lou's got to take the shot. Tap back by Michael. No. Timeout. 2.6 seconds to go.
He didn't like that. And you can see why. I mean, the Celtics did a tremendous job of keeping that ball away from Michael. Paul Pierce just face guarded him. He didn't care where the basketball was. His job was to contain Michael, keep him from getting the basketball. See, in this situation, you can break all the defensive rules. You don't have to keep your eye on the ball and man. Just keep your eye on the man and don't let him catch it. That's exactly what Paul Pierce does here. And they get the ball back with an opportunity to score. Tyronn Lue unable to get the ball to Michael Jordan, has to force one up. Celtics got to love that defensive possession.
That's why Michael Jordan did not want that timeout. And we've got another one. Clock now for the Boston Celtics, who have the ball tied at 91. Now remember, this is just the opening game of our doubleheader. Got a dandy coming your way in the second one. Sacramento, perhaps the best team in the NBA. Well, Chris Webber will lead them against Allen Iverson in Philadelphia. Both these teams now are fighting for home court advantages in the playoffs. Kings Sixers next on ABC Sports, home of the NBA Finals. So now 3 seconds for the Celtics. They've got Pierce. They've got Walker. Stackhouse has Pierce. Pierce with 36 points here today. 10 of 21. Antoine struggling. 1 of 13.
Well, you got 3 seconds. You have plenty of time to get a shot off. You can even put the ball on the floor a couple times and dribble penetrate.
So here we go. Starts when it's touched. Bounce pass. Jordan doubles up on Pierce. Pierce stays with it. Jordan knocks it away. We go to overtime. We go to overtime as Michael Jordan, number 23, jumps out on Pierce, knowing no way is he going to get the foul in that situation, ladies and gentlemen. This is like the National Hockey League in overtime. You're not giving them the penalty shot. They'll play overtime.
Well, these guys have to know, Brent, that 3 seconds, you have plenty of time here. Paul Pierce catches the ball. He gets double teamed immediately. You got to give that ball up because even if it gets stolen, they don't have enough time to go down the floor and score the bucket. Walter McCarty was wide open here for 3.
Michael Jordan with a brilliant defensive job on Paul Pierce. Overtime is next.
Six ball, corner pocket.
And Boston enjoying an overtime game. The Celtics right now would hold the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Wizards are on the outside looking in, trailing Milwaukee by 1 in the loss column. Running out of time. 2 games in hand. Desperately needing a win. Lost a tough one to Atlanta and another one to Denver down the stretch. As we take a look at this play, Sean.
Well, what I was saying is Walter McCarty's wide open. You have 3 seconds. You have time to put that ball on the floor. Look at Walter. He's wide open. He's only 5 of 10 from 3-point range. Why not give him the basketball? You have plenty of time to make that pass. If that pass gets stolen, you have to remember there'll only be a 2 or 1 seconds left on the clock. I mean, it's not a lot of time. You have enough time to make that pass, but not enough time for them to score if they get the steal.
Battie and Laettner. Bennett Salvatore throws it up, and Lue will bring it to the attack now for the Wizards with Stackhouse. Laettner, Simmons in the OT. He's played very well today. He has scored 15 points off Doug Collins' bench. Laettner will take the first shot of OT, and he's short. So the FleetCenter in Boston is the scene of this overtime game, the first of our doubleheader. Sacramento and Philadelphia are coming up next. McCarty off the front of the iron and gets back the long rebound, and here's Pierce. Hump on Stackhouse, sends it to McCarty. Puts it down on Jordan. And Walter McCarty now off the Boston bench with 23 points, as Antoine Walker has struggled. Only 2 points here today. 1 of 13 from the floor for Antoine.
And Walter shows he doesn't have to just go outside and shoot threes. He can put the ball on the floor and give you a little jump hook as well.
Stackhouse with a 2. Deadlocked again at 93.
I like the one-on-one effort. I just hate the long 2, Brent. This is a bad percentage shot. You take an inch or two back and you get an extra point.
Here's Pierce, steps out for the 3-ball. Michael Jordan snaps down the rebound, and now the Wizards looking for a lead. A dozen rebounds for Michael here today.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't finish with 30. This extra period is going to give him a chance to put up some more points.
Lou puts the Wizards ahead here in OT, 95-93. 3 minutes on the game.
Or pad his assist stats, either one.
Pierce puts it down, jump pass on the inside, and Antoine Walker with his second field goal of the game.
Antoine finally gets an easy one. His only other layup he had, he missed it. Finally gets one within his range today.
But we've got a timeout. The Wizards and the Celtics deadlocked at 95. New York 13-16, and the Knicks suffered a loss at the hands of the Clippers. Washington beaten recently by Atlanta. Milwaukee last night in overtime, losing to Chicago. So the remaining schedule gives big edge to Milwaukee because 3 of their remaining 4 games are in Milwaukee. Washington closes out at home against the Knicks and on the road against the 76ers. So here we are, deadlocked at 95. Michael Jordan, 25 points. Simmons hits Michael Jordan into Antoine Walker's hands, and now it's the Celts' turn.
And Michael made that shot more difficult than what it had to be. He had a wide open look. Ended up shooting a fadeaway from like 6-8 feet away.
Michael's been on the floor for 45 minutes here today. Walker wants it over the top. Stackhouse. He's got a size advantage. Antoine going again at the shot clock.
And Antoine Walker coming up big in crunch time. I love that little jump hook off the glass. He used all his strength to really secure that basketball. He's fighting for position.
Stackhouse ties it again. Deadlocked at 97 inside of 2 minutes.
Oh, your big guns have shown up today. Jerry Stackhouse coming through again. His jumper's been on. He's been penetrating. He's done all the little things.
Pierce gets it back from Antoine. Posting on Stackhouse. Jump pass to McCarty. And into Michael's hands. Now it's the Wizards' turn.
A great pass by Paul Pierce. He understands when he's in the middle of the key, the entire defense is focused on him.
Stackhouse for the lead. Into Walker's hands. Celts' turn.
See, it's very simple, Brent. They miss the tough shots. They make the easy, wide open ones.
On the run, drew the foul. And Antoine Walker on the free throw line. Minute left here in our first overtime.
You see Twan, it's extremely difficult to move him. He just keeps his ground because he's so much physically stronger than Jerry Stackhouse. Stackhouse giving away 20 or 30 pounds there easily.
Antoine now is 0 for 3 from the free throw line, and he's disgusted with himself. That's overall, but here in OT, he's hit a couple of big ones. He had only 1 hoop in regulation.
You see those
Celts lead it.
You see those rebounds and assists. If he could just happen to drop a couple in the bucket, he gets a triple-double.
So Doug Collins brings the Wizards over to talk about it. 98-97. One of the things about these timeouts, when you're Michael's age and you played this many minutes, it gives him a little bit of a blow before they set their offense. Timeout. Overtime at the FleetCenter in Boston, with the Celts leading 98-97. Both teams with timeouts, and the Celtics with a foul to give here in overtime. Michael Jordan here today with 25 points in what well could be his final appearance in Boston. He's played 46 minutes and he's pulled down 13 rebounds inside of a minute now. Wizards looking for the lead. It'll be Laettner. Gives it to him.
Nice play. You know, Stackhouse running off the screen, set by Christian Laettner. Laettner just pops to the corner. His man must step up to help, keeping Stackhouse from getting an easy one. That frees up Christian Laettner.
If Laettner's seen it, he would have had an intercept. Pierce puts it down, gets past the D, tries to pick it up. Lou's got it to the floor, and timeout is called. Timeout in time. No jump ball situation as the Wizards get the timeout called here with the lead and 33 seconds left.
Did you see how he called timeout? I mean, that was desperation. He was spinning all over the floor trying to call a timeout, and he was trying to hold on to the basketball at the same time.
This is one of those hustle plays.
He's getting all over the floor, going after that ball. And all Michael has to do is look at this film and know that his young guys are trying to win basketball games right alongside himself. Here's Michael.
He's got the timeout sign up almost as fast as Lou. And so the quick huddle over there. And now again, the Wizards want to bring that shot clock down, want to milk it, and the Celts with that foul to give in this situation, so they will certainly be doing that to try and throw off their rhythm.
Well, they have that foul to give, but all the Wizards have to do is run the clock down here, get a good-looking shot. You also have a chance to get your offensive rebound back, but if you score the bucket, you're only giving them 10 or so seconds to come down and get a good look at it.
And of course, coming up next, we'll take you right to the Kings and the 76ers in Philly. Brad is there with Tom and Bill. Laettner missing this time, and Pierce has got it, and the Celts with plenty of time now.
I'm surprised they took a shot so early in the clock.
Antoine's three, no, up high. Celtics ball with 8 and a timeout called Boston. And Doug Collins claiming that the ball went up the top, asking for some clarification here.
It didn't look like it hit the top to me. It looked like it came down, and from my angle, it looked like it went off two of the Celtics players.
That's what Stackhouse is claiming. So as we wait to resume the final few seconds in this one, let's send you to Philadelphia and Brad Nessler. Brad.
Early going with Philadelphia in front. Allen Iverson was a question mark with a bad left knee, but not only is he playing, he's got 4 points in the early going. And Philadelphia at home against one of the very best teams in the business, Sacramento, on a road trip. 55 wins already.
And while the fans are getting a treat of watching some bonus coverage of Michael Jordan, they have missed some of the most exciting and dynamic basketball that we've witnessed in the history of the NBA in this first couple of minutes here.
He's kidding.
Don't you think they ought to call Vlade Divac the Trout? I mean, he flops. Come on, that was all
I don't want to hear that about Vlade Divac. Vlade Divac is
what?
The key to Sacramento's championship successes.
Well, I didn't say he wasn't. I'm just saying he flops.
So why are you calling him a fish?
He's a flopper.
That's how it's going here, Brent. We'll send it back to you and Michael.
All right, Brad, and as we checked that replay while you were gone, the Wizards had a very legitimate beef. Not about where the basketball went, but it goes off Batiste' foot, not Stackhouse's knee. This is off Batiste's foot right here, and this should be out of bounds Wizards, but instead Celtics get a break. They'll see if they can cash it in. Down a point, 8.8, deep now to Batiste, hands to Walker. Over here to Pierce, Stackhouse the defender. Here comes Paul maneuvering, back outside. Williams for the game. Not to beat, tap out of bounds at the buzzer. The Wizards stay alive. Michael and the Wizards come up a winner. 99-98. So a very disappointed Antoine Walker. walks off, and we check in now with David Aldridge and Michael.
Michael, it's another great day in Boston. You guys continue to fight, even though you gave up a lot of threes early. You continue to fight.
We did. I mean, guys diving on the floor for loose balls. I mean, we wanted to win this game. We wanted to win every game, but we got beat by a last second shot in Atlanta. We put ourselves in a great position tonight, and we just kept fighting. You know, they hit big shots. We came back and hit big shots. It's a big win for us. With Milwaukee losing last night, I mean, this keeps us in the ball game.
The degree of difficulty of those shots in the fourth quarter?
Just the same old stuff, you know. There's something about this green, you know, that I enjoy playing in this area, and it's been fun so far. It was a great win for us.
What were you and Antoine talking about during the game?
You know, I kept telling him he was 0 for 5, 0 for 8, you know, but he had 12 assists, you know, and that's what's going to help him become a better basketball player. When you don't have it offensively, you got to be able to do other things. So I was more or less, you know, helping him because I know he's fighting himself. He didn't want us to beat him again. You know, and during these times, you just got to stay with the basic and try to help your teammates get involved, and he did that until he got his opportunities.
Michael, thank you very much. Congratulations. Back to you, Brent.
All right, Michael the helper. Antoine, you're 1 of 13, but nice pass about 5 minutes ago. That'll do it. Michael and the Wizards stay alive. 99-98. We'll go to the First Union Center for the Kings and the Sixers after this from our ABC station. So long, everybody.
Tuesday at 10, 9 Central. The Wait.
Verizon Wireless connects with more people in more places than any other wireless company, all on the country's largest wireless network. So you'll know that virtually anywhere you go, from the big cities to the small towns, your call goes through.
People